championship with a win. Now for UC Irvine, perfect at home at 8-0 in conference. Their only home loss in the preseason to LSU. Derek Flowers getting the start. One of the seniors, Damon Starring, another Will Davis, good shot blocker. Folker is there. The starting lineup a little bit different because it's senior day. And Michael Wilder finally getting hot from the outside. 7 of his last 10 from long range. And in his 3rd season, the head coach for UC Irvine is Russell Turner. 12-20 last year, 6-10 in the conference, formerly an assistant at Stanford and with the Golden State Warriors. And with us, as always, here in the Big West Conference Game of the Week, our Kelly Tennant is on the sideline. Kelly?
Thanks, Paul. Guys, last time these two teams met, it was a 5-point game going into the half, and then Long Beach just ran away with it. I talked to UCI's Coach Turner about what they could do differently this time around. He said they have to create more defensive pressure, specifically on the threes. Long Beach was 11 of 19 from the three-point line, and then Ennis just went off in the second half. So look for those changes tonight.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. And now let's get to Michael's keys to the cage right before the opening tip.
Well, Paul, this should be a fun game for Long Beach State. They got to control those turnovers. They get a little hot with 15 a game. Guard the arc because you know UCI can shoot it from downtown very well. Now, UC Irvine, transition D. That's a counter. That's the big counter to controlling the turnovers for Long Beach State. And, of course, you got to control the glass because Dan Jennings, Tony Freeland, and, of course, James Ennis, they are very big on the glass.
Long Beach State in their road black uniform, 17-10 overall, again 13-2 in the conference, and UC Irvine in their home gold uniforms. Again, Derek Flowers getting the start in place of Alex Young, the fine 6'1" freshman out of Phoenix, Oregon, but we will see Young very, very shortly in this all-important matchup. Backdoor cut, Ennis right there, wild pass, and coming away with it will be Flowers on the miscue. Flowers left all alone, all the way to the rim, took a very difficult floater in the lane and made it look easy for the opening basket.
Well, he went amongst the trees, and the trees weren't there. He said, I'll take it.
Somebody had done some deforestation.
It was like part in the Red Sea.
Jennings spinning down inside, lays that up away from Folker. Missed the layup, has his own rebound. Tough angle coming in back from behind the board.
And that's what I talked about at our key for the game for UCI, Paul, is to be able to control the glass. That time they didn't do a very good job. Big Dan Dan Jennings finishes real strong on the second attempt.
Long Beach State has the ability, I think, to be the best defensive team in the conference. Not always there in terms of their effort and second effort and tight on their rotations, but they are really skilled down the lane, right up and in. Beautiful finish by Michael Caffey coming off a big game, a loss to Stephen F. Austin in their bracket buster when he had 24.
He just came up big. Look at it right there. Derek Flowers dropping it over to Adam Falker, and he's picking up where he left off. 22, Paul, for 29 from the field, 75% in his last 3 games.
I mentioned that we might see freshman point guard Alex Young soon. Well, if Derek Flowers keeps playing like this, he might get comfortable.
Well, he knows his senior night. He can't do any wrong. I just see that Sciala King misses from outside.
Good block out by UC Irvine, working on the bigs for Long Beach State.
Both teams are scanning the man, have opened up, and have stuck with this man-to-man. You hard to see that, Paul, for most of the game.
Good skip pass. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Wilder working inside, off the basket. Tough chance, but the second rebound comes out after the tip from Will Davis, the second.
Well, Michael Wilder did a good job of just staying in that play. He got lucky as it was tipped away by Will Davis, the second. Right in his hands.
Starring left all alone. That's a defensive mistake by Long Beach, but they pay for it. And now the third bite at the apple for UC Irvine. Good offensive rebound.
That time, Long Beach State's not done a very good job of boxing out. I mean, they're boxing out, but they're not going after the ball.
Folker down inside, very smart. Why did he find the body of Jennings before putting that ball up?
Well, Jennings is very physical. I always say take the contact to the big guy. He did that, and that's a difficult shot. He banked it off the glass from 6 feet out.
Irvine leading 6-4, just underway. Long Beach State has won the last 5 meetings between these two teams and won the first. The game that Kelly Tennant was talking about, 81-59. As James Ennis, scoreless in the first half, went for 17 in the second. Shot clock at 7. Caffey off the dribble once again and draws the first personal foul on Flowers, so it'll be 2 free throws coming to Michael Caffey.
See right here on the play here, Michael Wilder kicks it over. And look at this tough finish right here over the arms of Dan Jennings on that play by Adam Falker and kissing it off the glass. 2 for 2 already from the field.
Caffey, just a 60% free throw shooter, spent most of last year playing in the big shadow of Casper Ware, one of the all-time greats for Long Beach State, but really started to emerge at the end of the season. And Dan Munson used both Casper Ware and Michael Caffey together in the backcourt a lot towards the end of the season.
And he's a very good facilitator with basketball. His last game against UT Arlington, excuse me, not UT Arlington, but his last game against Stephen Austin at the Pyramid, 24 points in a loss.
Bracket buster weekend, UC Irvine beat UT Arlington on the road, where, as you just mentioned, Stephen F. Austin beat UT Arlington. Somebody did. We found it. We didn't have to look too far. And I don't know what the delay is here. Tony Freeland going all the way down, laying that ball up and in. It looked like he was waiting for a whistle at one end, but it was just a straight turnover.
Well, my rule of thumb, if you don't hear the whistle, or if you think you hear it, still keep going until you hear a second whistle. He held up and was able to get down and finish tough in the paint.
Backdoor cut, tipped away nicely. Good vision at the defensive end, and an errant pass as Caffey was looking ahead to James Ennis.
That takes you back to one of my keys to the game for Long Beach State. Paul was controlling their turnovers that time. Really not a lot of pressure on that play. Michael Caffey threw the errant pass over the top to James Ennis.
When we spoke with head coach Dan Munson of Long Beach State a couple of days ago, we talked about the Stephen F. Austin game and the loss at the Pyramid, a very rare loss for the 49ers at home. Stephen F. Austin is 23-3 and one of the best defensive teams in the country. And Coach Munson, as Damon Starring knocks that down, said, hey, look, Stephen F. Austin exposed us a little bit, our lack of consistency and also with some turnovers, and certainly something that they need to work upon the rest of the season.
And that's
not much left.
And that's a good thing, too, Paul. They've had a week to work on. No games this week in the Big West, so a week off and kind of work on those things a little bit, get ready for the Big West tournament and this big game finish to their season.
Freeland got away with a push-off working against Will Davis. Damon Starring on the floor, working on Dan Jennings from Long Beach State. Both of them going after the ball hard. Good sportsmanship by them both, particularly Damon Starring, who just hit a 3 at the other end. It is senior day, and he is one of those closing out his career here for UC Irvine at the Bren Center.
The Lexus Command Performance Sales Event has
week that it's his seniors that create balance. They're the great leaders. They have the hustle. Guys like Adam Folker, huge hustlers, great leaders. He was the Big West Player of the Week. They're finally stepping up and playing the way he wants them, and that's the balance that they're getting at this point.
Kelly, and as you were on the call as well, one of the things that Coach Turner emphasized, he said, look, we don't have a 20-point score. We're a very unselfish team, and we need everybody playing at their very best to beat a team like Long Beach and get to where we want to go. And that's what they've been getting the last couple of weeks. Kick out to Wilder, not there, and the ball controlled, should have been controlled by Long Beach State, but again, a second opportunity for UC Irvine.
Well, it just seems right now Long Beach State kind of has butterfingers as they're fumbling a lot of loose offensive rebounds, and it's giving UCI a lot of opportunities to score as they've gotten already 1-3 ball off of that.
Chris McNeely was trapped along the sideline, but I blame the teammate that threw it to him. He's standing along the sideline.
That's a tough position.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just begging for a trap right there, not an advised play on the inbounds pass by UC Irvine. 14:50 remaining in the first half, tied at 8. And it's going to be, they're calling a hold away from the play. Going to go against Damon Starring out of Las Vegas, averaging 14 points, a 44% shooter from three-point range.
I'll tell you, refs are letting them play a little bit here in this game, but whenever you play a man-to-man defense, it's going to be a physical game anyway. And they've been very patient with that physicality as Tony Freeland misses from the outside.
Boy, that was a bad miss. Quickly at the other end, Wilder not there, and Ennis playing both ends of the floor with a strong rebound. Ennis 17 points, fourth best in the conference, but also averaging 7 boards. Nice backdoor cut, Keala King, and the secondary pass, unselfish play by King to Jennings for the free throw.
I'll tell you, Keala King, he's a really good point forward, very unselfish facilitator of the basketball, really takes a lot of pressure off of Michael Caffey, created that scoring opportunity for Dan Jennings on the play. Now, keep in mind, it's a good foul by UCI, as Dan Jennings is not a very good free throw shooter.
46% from the free throw line, to be specific. And a very unusual stroke at the line.
Well, you know, technically, I'm trying to figure out, as an ex-ball player myself, how do you correct that? If it's correctable this late in his career in college, you know, obviously it's very, you know, unorthodox, and it creates almost like a high-speed shot toward the basket, which really, I think, limits your ability to put him down.
Well, there is a look at it, and the predictable result. Strong rebound taken inside by Keala King. Off the missed free throws by Jennings. I'll tell you, when Dan Jennings is at the free throw line, and he's got a great attitude about it. Dan
I'm crashing the boards.
Yeah, you're getting ready to get some rebounds.
That's right. I'm looking. I mean, that's not, no fun intended about him. You just know he's struggling from the free throw line at just over 55%. I'm crashing the boards.
Dangerous pass. Ennis comes up with that.
There's a falling globetrotter pass.
Kyle Richardson, number 34 in black, on the floor for the first time, replacing Jennings.
Pass, if it doesn't get through, man, you end up on the bench.
The fall-away jump shot by Keala King. A lot of high degree of difficulty shots right now taken by Long Beach State. UC Irvine was getting some offensive rebounds, and now it's Long Beach State's chance. McNeely with a rebound off the miss by number 3 in black, Keala King.
Long Beach State is just cold right now, not able to knock any shots down, getting plenty of opportunities, but you'd like to see them start going toward the basket, getting to that free throw line a little bit more, as you saw Dan Jennings, and not settle for the outside shot so much.
Long Beach State just 3 of 12. UC Irvine 4 of 9, and that is going to be a hand check foul on the perimeter as McNeely took it hard to the basket. McNeely, the leading scorer off the bench for UC Irvine, 9 points, 4 rebounds out of Danville, California.
Right now, UCI is doing a very good job of just managing the rebounding situation. That was one of my concerns for them coming into this game. But so far, they've been able to keep Long Beach State at bay, not allowing them to just aggressively get that offensive rebound and then finish.
Alex Young on now, wearing number 1 in white. A superb point guard, a real battle setting up on the late afternoon between he and number 5 in black. The man with the ball right now, Michael Caffey.
And Kyle Richardson did a great job of coming over the shoulder of Will Davis II without fouling him. I looked a little surprised there when he got the pass.
Blocked by Will Davis, the single-season record holder here for the Anteaters in block shots, adds to his total.
Not only is he single-season record holder for UCI, he's also the #1 shot blocker in the Big West at 2.3 a game, as Damon Starring misses from downtown.
Too many threes right now for UC Irvine.
I'd like to see this happen. You know, get to the rim. We talked about it a minute ago. James Ennis said, "Okay, Mr. Cage, I hear you. I'm going to get to the rim and finish," which I can do.
Ennis with his first basket, 12:35 remaining. Long Beach State taking the narrow lead, 10-8.
You notice I referred to James Ennis as calling me Mr. Cage. That's respect, Paul.
Alec, he doesn't, I never hear that, never get that.
Can I give myself respect?
Alex Young knocked to the floor. A look at the other end, another block by the record setter.
He just keeps counting. That's 71. And on this play right here, James Ennis not settling from the outside. Boy, did a nice little crossover, finished in traffic. How big was that basket? They gave him a 2-point lead.
So Young to inbound.
Yeah, if I can talk about James Ennis for a minute, Paul, I got to talk top 10 in 10 categories in the Big West Conference. Steals, shot blocks, free throw shooting percentage. He's also has field goal percentage at 49%. That's 5. I'm not looking at my notes, if you notice. I mean, he is really almost by himself for Player of the Year.
Travis Sousa, the three-point specialist for UC Irvine, coming off the bench and doing exactly that. A 55% shooter from outside the arc is number 2 in yellow. Nice pass once again. Richardson down inside, but he is going to be called for the traveling violation. Well, he's getting the ball in some good spots and just can't control it and finish.
Well, he fumbled one, and then here, you know, he just kind of took extra steps here. That's too easy. Wow, he just stood out there waiting for that big-time shooter like that. And Sousa, you've got to know your man when he comes in the game.
Really looking forward to the battle all 40 minutes long. McNeely out of the corner, not there. Yet another three-point attempt And high for the rebound. Chris Gully on for the first time, number 0 in black. D2, like Sousa, a good three-point shooter for Long Beach State, as is this man, number 2 in black, Peter Papagioulis.
I'd like to see Long Beach State show a little bit more patience in the half-court offense, not settle for those shots. They know you can get to the rim. They do a very good job of sharing the basketball. Just be a little bit more patient.
Pass again to Richardson, attacking the basket, rejected. Will Davis III. Here comes Young down the other way, forces that, and their whistle blew, so it'll be a couple of free throws coming to Alex Young.
Well, that time Kyle Richardson got caught in the air, not knowing what he wanted to do. Big fella, you got to take 2 steps, because if you don't get above the rim, the leading shot blocker in the Big West in UCI's history going to get it.
And Russell Turner of UC Irvine has certainly captured that. For the most part at the defensive end for UC Irvine, ranked number 1 in the conference in field goal percentage defense and also 3-point percentage defense. And you see the student body, they have bought in as well to this defensive mindset. Defend the brim. You see the only loss at home this season to LSU, perfect in the conference so far at 8-0, and have not been perfect all the way through since 2000 and 2001. And if you play good defense every time out for 40 minutes, you're going to give yourself a chance.
And, you know, it's amazing that that has happened in just 3 short years of head coach Russ Turner's tenure here. I mean, he's brought a defensive philosophy to this program and to the players, young players, bear that in mind as you see a Will Davis II, who I think anchors this defense with his shot blocking and rebounding. He's really created that kind of environment, and they're winning. They're winning in his 3rd season and being very successful with it.
Hold opponents to 38% from the floor, 32% from outside the arc. Not only the best in the Big West Conference, but among the best in the entire country. Free throw, 1 good, 1 missed by Young. And here's the matchup again. Caffey, nice deflection that time by Young. Turnover to Caffey. Will Fulfer was available down in the low post. McNeely, number 5 in yellow, missed him.
Missed Will Davis II on that pick and roll. Boy, he was wide open as finally he gets it, but in a tough position.
Dan Jennings, number 35 in black, back on for Long Beach State out there with Ennis, along with Chris Gully. Papa George, good perimeter shooter, and number 5, the point guard. Long-range jump shot by Ennis, buries that on a mismatch against Will Davis.
Well, I tell you, he took him out to the uncomfortable zone and dropped that one from deep, and there was nothing that Will Davis, the leading shot blocker in the Big West, could do about that.
Yeah, Will Davis was out in the thin air. He wanted no part of having to go way out on the perimeter. Three-pointer not there. Asked you, Michael, if UC Irvine was settling too much for threes. They're now just 1 of 7. Gully attacking the basket, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Good play down outside the restricted area by Adam Fulfer, working hard to get from one side of the floor to the other at the defensive end.
I tell you, look at that. That's just a catch and shoot and knock it down with comfort. Look at the foul right here. I mean, that time, Chris Gully looked like he was out of control. Just a, you know, simple high school kids watching. Drop, you know, just a step past the ball. You come to a complete stop, pass the ball, you get 2 points out of that play.
Every time you jump in the air to pass, you're asking for trouble.
Well, I see, you know, it happens in the NBA so much, but these are pros. As they come up with a big steal here, this guy got himself off the hook. The Long Beach State is just turning the ball over.
Wow.
As it will be an over and back and another turnover.
5th turnover for Long Beach State. What do they have to do? I mean, Dan Munson asking himself the same question. Are they just playing too fast right now?
Well, they play fast. They average almost 70 points a game. You're going to take some turnovers. They average about 15 turnovers a game, but getting 5 in the first 10 minutes of the game, I mean, that's eventually that's going to come back to haunt you.
McNeely running the baseline off a couple of screens. Got the defender in the air, and that's tough for a young player. You see it in the pros all the time. Kobe Bryant, like Michael Jordan, and so many great scorers before him. You get that contact, you just got to throw the ball at the basket, but instead it's just going to be ball out of bounds. 2nd personal foul on Gully for Long Beach State.
Well, that time Chris McNeely, he wasn't sure if they were going to call it, so he jumped up got the contact, didn't hurt the whistle, but he was already in his passing motion.
5 team fouls on Long Beach State. Another three-pointer not there, and that's an easy play to call. Will Davis the second over the top of Dan Jennings. Good block out for the 49ers, his first.
Well, if you're Long Beach State, Paul, you asked me a couple of seconds ago, what do they need to do on some of these turnovers? I agree, slow the game down, but more passes going toward the basket. So right now they're out on the perimeter. They're making a lot of high-risk passes.
Battle down inside, and Jennings is going to be called for the offensive foul, working on Adam Folker. Folker hanging in and taking the contact from Jennings, 6'9", 255 pounds from Staten Island, New York. There is Adam Folker. What a player he has been for UC Irvine. Last year's Hustle Player of the Year, and really on a roll right now offensively. 23 of his last 30 shots.
And the reigning Big West Player of the week, as he's averaging over 15 points in the last 3 games.
Folker has got Papa George down inside, now double team. Good rotation by Long Beach State. They were in real trouble defensively. 7 to shoot. Screen and roll. Folker right to the rim, lays it up and in. Good patience and execution.
Well, you know, when you look at Adam Folker, you say, man, you know, this guy, you know, you wouldn't think he could move that well. He's a smart, intelligent player. That time showed patience, got to the rim, and finished on the high pick and roll.
Oh, huge collision that time by Folker as Jennings goes down. Second personal foul on Folker. That's big for UC Irvine with 8.5 minutes remaining in the opening half.
You know, you hear the expression, keep it simple, and he does just that. Tomato and ketchup, high pick and roll. I always tell bigs, roll hard to the basket on any high pick and roll. You're going to pull the defense with you, and if they don't come with you, guess what? You're laying it up by yourself, as Adam Folker did, and is now heading to the bench with 2 fouls.
Well, we might not see him for the rest of the first half, depending on how it plays out. Perfect 3 for 3 from the floor. The rest of the Anteaters just 3 for 13.
And that's a big loss at this point.
Absolutely.
That's going to put a lot of pressure on Will Davis II now to step it up, not only in the shot blocking and defensive part, but also on the offensive end now.
Well, it's really interesting, too, that Russell Turner has decided to go small as opposed to coming in with 7-foot freshman Connor Clifford. He's out there with Will Davis and with 4 guards.
He probably understands also, Paul, the importance of this game. They want to win this ball game if you're UCI. They're 8-0 at home in Big West play. First time they can get to 9-0, go perfect for the season. First time they've done that since 2001. He understands the importance of this game as Peter Papa George just sneaks by Damon Starring and lays it up real easy to him.
Russell Turner, the coach for UC Irvine, going for a long walk. When you get beaten on an inbound play for a layup, that just cannot happen. And a traveling violation as Derek Flowers lost his footing. 5 turnovers for Long Beach State. This is half a dozen now for Irvine.
Oh, he had his hand down. He had 2 problems there. Head was down, and he was out of control. And, of course, I mean...
Were his eyes open?
His eyes were not open. I couldn't
Shoelaces tied?
You know, it's pick your poison. That's either a charge or a walk. The official gave him a break and called it a charge. Excuse me, he made it a traveling violation. But another turnover for Irvine.
Tony Freeland back on, being guarded by Michael Wilder. There's Cappy right down the lane. Tough chance. Wilder, nice push on the hip that time of Jennings to get the rebound. Starring out of control. And Tony Freeland is going to take the ball and step over the end line. So, little careless play. We talked about it, Michael. The stakes are very, very high for both Irvine and Long Beach, and now both of them may be showing some nerves. Lots of turnovers.
DSL was
very good recruiting class, cut down on what used to be a staple for Long Beach State, 2-year and 1-year junior college transfers, and this is a solid program and lots of very good players coming back next year as well. Sousa back on, and for the first time, Long Beach State showing some matchup zone. Now they are matching up out of it, and they're in a zone. They were making it look like a man-to-man.
Well, they don't have Adam Folker out there for UCI, so they don't have to worry about a good pick-and-roll guy, so you can gamble a little bit now on the perimeter defensively.
Davis had a big size advantage, but kicks to the outside. So coming off the bench, Travis Sousa, back-to-back 3-pointers.
And how important is that 2 points to kind of loosen up the offense right now in the absence of Adam Walker, who's out of the game with 2 fouls if you're UC Irvine.
If you're UC Irvine, when you have the basketball, do you try to slow things down a little bit to milk this first half and get Folker into the second half? Jennings with a right-handed hook off the front of the iron, and Sousa there for the rebound. Sousa has given UC Irvine a big lift. The 6'4" sophomore out of Turlock, California. Wilder deep through. Missed his first couple, but buried that one. And timeout, Long Beach State.
Well, Paul, to answer your question, you asked about slowing the game down. I don't think UCI is trying to slow it down. They're just shooting the ball extremely well. That was a gutsy shot right there by Michael Wilder. 2 feet beyond the arc. He's been struggling to shoot the ball from deep.
Irvine leading 20-15. Long Beach State got to take care of the basketball, but where do they go, Michael? They had good success early in the game going into Jennings as well as Richardson. Didn't get much out of it because of the missed free throws, and now they seem to be staying on the perimeter, as you talked about.
Well, you know, you got to get to who do you love, who do you know best. You know, you got to go and get the ball into James Ennis. He is your guy.
10 to shoot.
He's out of the game right now. It's going through and passed up on a nice post-up. Not really a double team.
Gaffey working one-on-one now against Flowers. Shot clock down to 3. Step back jumper not there. Battle for the rebound. The officials talking about it, and it's going to be Irvine's basketball. That foul going against Long Beach State's Keala King. His first personal.
Irvine did a great job of just planting bodies in the paint when that shot went up. They knew the shot clock was going down, knew Michael Cappy would be taking a tough shot. They planted all 4 guys into the paint, and Gain tackled the rim, and it led to this coming over the back and an opportunity to shoot 2, or 1 and 1, excuse me, at the free throw line.
Long Beach State, 7th team foul. So Damon Starring and misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Ooh, dangerous pass. Starring took an inadvertent elbow to the mouth. Wild quick shot that time by Papa George. Keala King with a long rebound. But Irvine plays very good fundamental defense. Ennis down the lane, a little contact, difficult shot. He is just a good offensive talent in number 11 in black, James Ennis.
Well,
he now has 7.
That was a difficult shot. Look at this here. Everybody's, 3 guys, 4 guys in the paint waiting on you to lay the ball up. He puts the basketball where no one is and finishes.
Timeout called by UC Irvine, and I think what Russ Turner wants to talk about, well, they're dealing right now with Derek Flowers, as mentioned, took that as they are written, and sometimes they just don't have any choice. I don't think this should be anything.
It looks like it's not because
right. I don't think it should be anything.
But you had me worried, though.
No. Well,
I was like,
I worry a lot of people.
When you say that, Paul, I hate to say this on the air. You're usually right, Paul. You know, and it really bugs me when I go home later and I watch our broadcast. But you know,
now you're being nice.
But I'm saying, okay, all right. There's nothing. You said nothing there.
Right. And I agree with that completely. But I have seen over 100 college basketball games this year, and there have been so many calls and plays very similar to that have indeed been called a flagrant foul.
But protocol is exactly what they do.
Absolutely. I thought the officials made the right call. 5.5 remaining in the opening half. UC Irvine leading by 3. Irvine's been very solid at the defensive end, as has been Northridge. Sousa loses control of that. Keala King on the floor. Caffey will come grab it. And Long Beach has got numbers if they want it. Papa George Ennis lines up a long three-pointer. No, Michael Wilder with a good block out.
You had the ball in the right hands of the right guy that time. Shooting a 3. Got a wide open look. James Ennis could knock it down.
Good attack that time by Young. Spins it up and in.
Well, right now, looks like Long Beach State is just standing around as UC Irvine is getting a lot of dribble drive penetrations. Not a whole lot of help. Not a lot of bodies going over to go after some of those shot blocks.
Keala King working on Starring. Again, UC Irvine very solid at staying in front defensively.
Talking about without the services of Adam Falker, who's their big man in the middle, he's shooting a very high percentage. And they are still scoring baskets inside.
Shot clock at 5. Ennis going to have to force that up. Doesn't get a bounce. Rebound taken by Sousa. Another very good defensive stand by Irvine.
And now Long Beach State looks a little bit razzled here at this moment, Paul. Not really getting the ball going, shots going to the basket. They're not falling right now. Irvine is just loving it. They're spreading the floor. They're attacking off the dribble. That time is turnover by Damon starting on the play.
Irvine back defensively. Biggest lead by the Anteaters was 5. Fiala King jump stop out of the middle. Papa George thought about the 3. 15-foot pull-up jumper not there. And there he is again. Travis Sousa doing it at both ends of the floor. Volker on the sideline as he picked up 2 quick fouls. Good running of the floor. Very, very late getting back defensively was Long Beach State. And now the lead is 7 for UC Irvine.
That's a big 7 points at this point, Paul, because
good point.
Right now Long Beach State is just having trouble scoring the basketball. Their transition defense is struggling as well, and they can't get on the glass to retrieve some of those missed shots. Now, give credit for credit is due, but it's also Long Beach, UC Irvine's pat on the back for doing those things.
Long Beach State was 7 of 25 from the floor. Fiala King, another block shot for Will Davis. He comes up with a loose ball. Really good team defense for UC Irvine. Wilder down the lane looking for some contact, has the ball stolen away. Davis, wow, talk about letting them play. A wild skirmish. Irvine comes up with the basketball, and they'll shoot free throws. When we come back, one of the best young point guards on the West Coast, Alex Young by name. Early, good basket for Irvine.
All right.
Then because of the defensive effort by the Anteaters.
Right, and you give credit where credit is due. You see how it's all done. They've done it through the 3 ball. That's what started the bleeding. And it seems like Long Beach State could not get a hand on a lot of those shooters here. And then you had Adam Falker go 3 for 3 before he got into foul trouble, but the damage is already done. You have Will Davis, who's a #1 shot blocker in the Big West. He already has 3 block shots, and then finishing inside on transition. They're beating Long Beach State at their game, Paul. They have very good defensive hands. They're smaller than Long Beach State, but they're much more active. Too much standing around by the 49ers on defense and settling for too many outside shots.
And good defense is leading to runouts and better offense for UC Irvine. They started just 2 of 9. They made 4 out of their last 5 shots, including an uncontested layup by this man, Will Davis II. 6'8", just 210 pounds out of Sacramento, California. 55 blocks last year, which was then a single-season record. He started this evening with 65. I have him with up to 68 now. He's got 3 in the first half and good on both free throws. And Irvine getting all of this done with their senior Adam Folker on the sideline because of foul trouble.
And what has to happen for Long Beach State? They have to show a little bit more patience. Get in the paint now. Those outside shots are not falling. And if you have, Jennings has not been able to finish inside, but that's a good foul once again by Irvine, not allowing him to finish as he has struggled at the free throw line.
That foul was called on Damon Starr. Good thing for UC Irvine, it was not called on Will Davis. And going back to the line once again will be Dan Jennings, just a 46% free throw shooter.
Now, if you're Long Beach State, you got to be talking to yourself. Did that week off affect us that much? I mean, you're 12-2, you're top dogs in the league, and right now they're being manhandled. I mean, you're averaging 70 points a game. That's tops in the Big West. And you have 18 with 2:38 to go here in the first half. That's a big mountain to overcome.
Jennings once again for an offensive rebound. Good work by Fiala King. Papa George for the 3, no. Jennings once again muscling down inside. Boy, Long Beach State is really going after offensive rebounds right now. And Jennings will go back to the free throw line, where so far he's just 1 of 4.
Well, the last 2 possessions, Long Beach State has shown more, I think, effort, energy, and hustle, because they had been losing this hustle game until the last 2 possessions. They've shown more in the last 2 possessions, and look what it leads to. I mean, you may not have your best free throw shooter on the court, but you're getting opportunities to score the basketball and you put people in foul trouble.
Second of 2 free throws up and good for Jennings. Irvine led by as many as 9. It is now 26-19, 2:25 remaining in the opening half. Long Beach State 13-2 in conference, looking for their 4th straight regular season title. Alex Young with a miss, and here it comes. James Ennis out of the backcourt. Jennings deep down inside, shot deflected from behind. Davis with yet another block. That's 4 in the first half. Boy, they are really going to Jennings a lot. And he is called for the traveling violation, 7th turnover.
Well, I like that. Unfortunately, he turned over the basketball, but the last 2 or 3 possessions, he was able to get inside. On one possession, he got 4 free throws, but he was 2 for 4, so he got 2 points out of that. There's a commitment to go back to him and get him closer looks closer to the basketball.
Two point guards going after each other once again. Cappy for Long Beach. Wilder almost traveled with it into the corner, and Barry's was that a three-pointer or a long 2 by Chris McNeely. That makes it 28-19. That was a long 2-pointer. Here comes Cappy attacking once again, spins it up, and we'll get to the free throw line.
Chris McNeely coming off the bench, averaging over 9 points a game. He's instant offense. And that time getting a shot in the flow, knocking it down, the corner 3 ball. And it extends his lead out to 9 points. And who would ever thought, as Michael Cappy misses the first of 2, that Long Beach State would have 19 points with 1:39 to go in the first half. If I'm Coach Dan Munson, I'm scratching my head too, because we had a week off to get ready for this game.
And both free throws missed. I know Dan Jennings is the guilty party for the most part, but I'll tell you, Long Beach State not taking advantage at the free throw line. Inside of 1.5 minutes remaining. Errant pass right at the feet of Davis, and on the turnover, Papa George has it quickly into the front court to Cappy. Three-pointer, and he buries that, making up for a couple of missed free throws.
That time the young fellow made a big mistake. Cardinal sin, bounce passing the ball on the perimeter, number 1. And then bounce passing it to a big number 2. It leads to an open 3 ball.
28-22. Irvine leading once again. Derek Flowers with it at the point. Mentioned Long Beach State's free throw shooting is 4 of 10. Flowers turns the corner, lays it up and in. Count the basket. Long Beach State was in the restricted area.
I think Flowers is trying to tell Coach Russ Turner here something. Hey, Coach, you started me on senior night. I'm going to show you what I can do, and he has done just that. He started out the ball game with a layup and just finished taking contact, but now with a chance to complete the 3-point play.
And you're exactly right. Derek Flowers got the start on senior day, and he has made the most of it. A couple of assists early. He scored well. Had that floater to start things off.
He's been a big spark to us here in this first half.
Very good half at the defensive end for UC Irvine. Little drop pass to Jennings once again. The 5th block shot for Will Davis. Here comes Flowers. Sousa run off the 3-point line. What a play. Flowers to Sousa to Will Davis for the layup. Davis has half a dozen, and the lead is 11.
And that was just a transition basket where Long Beach State just got beat coming down the floor as Will Davis cleaned up on the end there and finished in traffic.
I'll tell you what, Michael, I think Long Beach State can be a really good defensive team, but when they struggle at the offensive end, I think they lose focus and concentration at the defensive end, and they're paying a price here. Tiala King with the floor spread, right-hander no, Wilder with the rebound, and that'll end the first half. So the beginning of this basketball game was marred by turnovers, a lot of pressure on both of these teams. Long Beach State trying to close out and win another conference title. Davis blocking shots, but then particularly
he was 3 for 3 before he got that second foul. Now, if you're Long Beach State, you have to figure out how to get back in this ball game, because there's a lot of things. You know, the ship is leaking a lot of water right now, and mainly it's with your shooting percentage. You got to get knocked down shots.
It's not the Queen Mary, it's the Titanic right now.
It's the Titanic in a big way. I mean, all hands on deck right now. If you're Long Beach State, you have to get a good start here.
You made a very interesting point about UC Irvine when Folker went out, and I'll continue that in just a moment. It's a continuation of something that Russ Turner told us when we spoke to him yesterday. A little bit of contact up top. Freeland, here is Wilder. His only basket, a 3-pointer in the first half. Good attack. And under control, very nice play by Damon Starring to open the scoring in the second half for UC Irvine.
A big play, big guys make big plays. And that time, Damon Starring, senior night here at UCI, making another big play to start them off in this second half.
Out to Ennis, a look at a wide open three, and he buries that. But to finish the shot, the thought on Russell Turner, you say Irvine played better when Folker went out. Remember what Coach Turner told us? We don't have any big stars, 20-point scorers. We need everybody to play well, everybody to contribute. Travis Sousa certainly did that coming off the bench, as did Chris McNeil.
You're talking about their leading scorer, Damon Starring, only had 2 points at 13 points a game. He's the only guy averaging double figures in points.
Starring, step back jumper not there. Dan Jennings, very active, corrals the rebound. Here comes Keala King. Looking for his first basket again, 0 for 5 in the first half. Nice drop pass, and that's the way you go with a shot blocker.
And that's impressive. I mean, he went right over the top. And you know, folks, when you at home, when a guy has 7 shot blocks, as Will Davis did in the first half, you can't float that ball up there. You have to stuff it down. He did that in a big way.
Excellent adjustment by Dan Jennings, number 35 in black. Derek Flowers getting the start once again. Folker, his first touch of the second half, and he goes right at Jennings. Wilder looking at a three. Looks good off the side of the iron. Needs a bounce. No, and the rebound taken by Jennings once again, who seems very energized and very active. Has been for this whole game.
Jennings is showing that big body inside on both ends as Tony Freeland takes contact and hold the phone for a minute. It's a 6-point game, Paul.
Excellent drop pass by the point guard, Caffey.
You know, they didn't get those plays in the first half. Going to the basket, sharing the basketball. Long Beach State only had 2 assists in all of the first half. They have 2 here to open the second half.
Low at the offensive end leads to energy at the defensive end. Freeland helping on the weak side. Folker will go to the free throw line, but big finish by Dan Jennings at the other end.
Well, he just said, hey, hold on, big fella. You blocked 3 of my shots. Let me show you something else right now. I got to show you a different look. This is my different look. And, you know, when you're around a shot blocker, you have to do that. You have to put it in the rim or over him.
Best shot blocker you ever faced during your NBA career?
Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean, he was unbelievable.
That,
He could get up in the air. Was that too easy for me, Paul? Did I not make that? Was that too easy?
No.
I know I said it kind of fast.
You did, but little doubt.
Respectfully, he could get up in the air so quickly. I would actually go up now. I'm not going to admit that he blocked my shot, but let's just say, you know, for the sake of conversation, I went in to lay the ball up quickly on him. He got off the ground and possibly blocked my shot and retrieved the ball.
Well, he is the leading shot blocker in the history of the NBA, so a pretty good choice. Hakeem Olajuwon, what a player he was at both ends of the floor.
And Anthony Davis, you know, I have to give Will Davis that type of presence. 7 blocks and a half. Anthony Davis, who played at Kentucky, as Michael Caffey. Like I said, hold the phone, folks. They are making a run, only down 5 points.
The lead for UC Irvine was 33-22. Michael Caffey with a soft touch from outside the arc, now in double figures with 10. Flowers confident with the dribble. Step back, no. Folker had the offensive rebound, lost it out of bounds.
Now, I know it's senior night, and it's really interesting that head coach of UCI, Russ Turner, started Derek Flowers over his young, talented point guard in Alex Young. So showing a lot of confidence in the senior. I know senior night can get the start as Michael Caffey turns over the ball.
Starring thought about the three inside to Davis, unselfish play, and Folker dropped the basketball. And a good grab that time. And now, under the rules and the new interpretation, there was no play on the ball that time by Derek Flowers. That could be called a flagrant foul.
Now,
the officials are talking about it.
And that's really interesting. That's the same way in high school basketball as well. You have to make a play on the basketball. Looked like he kind of grabbed him around the waist and did a little bit of a bear hug.
You see this all the time in the NBA with interpretation and the rules written differently. There's no play on the ball, but the officials, and Dan Munson arguing that right now.
He should be, and I think he's exactly right. That is not an interpretation. That's obvious that there was no play on the ball.
And that's a rule, by the way, that I think they should change. That's a smart basketball play to take the foul. Keala King skipping baseline. Nice work along the The baseline by Tony Freeland with the basket. Now he's got half a dozen, and the lead is down to just 3 at 37-34.
Well, what has happened is Long Beach State is getting those baskets going to the rim.
Backdoor cut at the other end. Not there. Fulker with a putback.
Now, that's not really the big fault that Adam Fulker got that rebound. He's smart by hanging around. Whenever a shot blocker goes for the shot block, you have to cover his man. They didn't cover Adam Fulker. He smartly tucks in behind and tips the ball in.
Long Beach State has outscored UC Irvine 12-6 to start this second half. Inside to Jennings again, being very aggressive. Not there. Fulker with a rebound in traffic. And he is fouled either by Jennings or Freeland. They did give that to Dan Jennings. So the second half just underway, and UC Irvine leading at 39-34. When we come back, Kelly Tennant is going to speak with an NCAA champion.
All right.
All this.
Grew up here. UC Irvine's my home. I became an adult here. I've had great guidance from wonderful people. So I felt like that was the only thing I can give back.
You were honored at halftime and you received a standing ovation. Obviously, everyone very proud of you. What does it mean to be back here and to be an athlete that's represented by Nike now?
I've always seen UC Irvine as a family. So, to get that award and have everybody give me a standing ovation and, just to get that excitement from the crowd was just amazing.
Well, thank you, Charles. Congrats on all your success and good luck. All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you very much. Wilder with a long rebound after the left-handed hook by Will Davis. Fulker at the other end. UC Irvine coming out of a much-needed timeout, back-to-back baskets after Long Beach State had started the second half 5 of 6.
Well, and that's that old Achilles heel that was happening in the first half of Long Beach State. Not getting back on defense, not covering the transition, and they did it very poorly in back-to-back times there, and it hurt them.
Backdoor cut, Keala King. Nice pass once again, right inside to Jennings. Keala King is a very willing and talented passer for Long Beach State.
He's a hard-nosed player. He's willing to go in there, sacrifice his body, be a facilitator with the basketball. As Michael Cappy take the pressure off him.
Off the miss by Fulker. Here comes Ennis working against Wilder. Cappy's already hit a 3. That is Michael Cappy, number 5 in black for Long Beach State.
Boy, this game, this momentum right now is very fast. And if you're Long Beach State, you got to be careful as they're getting those baskets going to the rim. But boy, you have to really be careful and handle the basketball. As right now, Russ Turner is just not happy with the speed of this game. He wants to slow it down.
And Michael Caffey on the backdoor cut has really been solid for the 49ers here at the start of the second half. What was a double-digit lead is now down to 5, 43-38.
All right.
Teams get in, and you see Santa Barbara and Cal State Northridge battling it out for that 8th and final spot. They play later on this evening. Back with Michael Cage. Will Davis the second. 7 first-half block shots to inbound. Irvine leading at 43-38.
And what's happened, Paul, is that Long Beach State is shooting the ball much better. They're shooting 77%, 7 of 9 to open the second half, as they only shot 25% in the first half.
Fulker off the front of the iron. Good hard work. Gets his own rebound to his teammate. Adam Fulker unselfishly to Will Davis for his 10th point.
And right now, that shouldn't happen for Long Beach State. You're in a nice little run. Once again, standing around. Adam Fulker takes the shot and rebounds his own shot with very little effort. Kicks it right over to Will Davis. Nobody gets to him.
Jennings slips down inside, spinning away. Right-handed jump hook. Dan Jennings working very hard here in the second half. He too in double figures with 10.
That is just a difficult shot.
Young with the quick pull-up jump shot. Russ Turner did not like that shot selection. Keala King at the other end. Better ball movement for Long Beach State. Three-pointer, no. Battle for the rebound, and McNeely just able to save it on the floor for UC Irvine. Good Plenty of time on the shot clock. Young, the point guard, will bring the ball back outside to McNeely.
Smart play by Alex Young to not take that open three. So, hey, look, let's work the shot clock a little bit, get a better shot, see what they can get here in this next 10 seconds.
Last possession before that as he goes down inside, throws one up. Fulker with the offensive rebound, comes up empty and stays with it. That's why last year he was the conference hustle player of the year.
Well, that's 2 times right there where he's just his sheer effort and willpower has gotten 2 points to Will Davis and then treated himself that time off of a missed shot. That can't happen if you're Long Beach State. It's just too easy to give up offensive rebounds.
Fulker now with 14 along with half a dozen rebounds. Caffey at the other end, and quite a battle. It is really joined now between Alex Young with the ball and Michael Caffey, number 5 in black.
2 talented young point guards. Michael Caffey, last game, 24 points. Alex Young, 121 assists on the season. Not playing like first and second year players.
That shot missed down inside. Fulker and Davis having some opportunities, but they got to finish. Freeland at the other end runs right over Damon Starring. No harm, no foul. And look at this, 11:45 remaining. And UC Irvine leading by just 4 after being on top by 11 at the break.
Well, Paul, I talked about Long Beach State needs to get their swagger back, and they have found their swagger in big fashion. They're sharing the basketball. They got 7 assists here in the second half. Only had 2 for the whole first half. So sharing the basketball and getting those open looks and knocking them down.
Wide open 3 not there. Kiala King with the rebound. The score on the scoreboard says 47-43. Our scoreboard says 47-44. And I am glad to report that we are right. I hope they get it right at the scorers table. The score is kind of why we came. Ennis off the drop pass, off the front of the iron, long rebound to Kiala King in Long Beach State. Will they reset? They will. And a perfect pass to Edgar Garibay, the transfer to Loyola Marymount, along the bench. Kiala King seeing one of his teammates and throwing that ball away.
Well, that time there was nobody there, but still doesn't change the fact that you got Mr. Hustle coming back. Will he get it again this year? Possibly. On plays like that, Adam Fulker.
Their own, that they have to do a better job in the paint and dig down. Jennings telling the guys that he needs help, calling out his teammates saying, I can't do this on my own.
Adam Fulker with 14.6 rebounds. Will Davis the second, 10 points, 7 block shots. What's turned it around for Long Beach State, just primarily at the offensive end, Michael?
Well, they're shooting 71% of the field, Paul. As you saw, 10 of 14 to open this second half here. And then for Long Beach, for UCI, they're 6 of 17 at 35%. So you're talking about 2 teams going in 2 different directions.
Quality of shots for Long Beach State much higher. You see that the defense for UC Irvine, Sousa looking at another 3-pointer. When's Long Beach State going to find him? The 49ers coaching staff going crazy because they didn't find the 3-point specialist now with 9.
Well, that was a big play right there for UCI coming out of this timeout. You've got to cover him. He knocked down 2 in the first half, and you don't cover him on a play like that. That's tough.
Kiala King going up against the shot blockers, now in among the trees, thinks better of it, kicks it out to Ennis. Shot clock did not reset. Ennis one-on-one against Davis, and every time UC Irvine gets in this matchup, Ennis is being smart and going right after Davis.
Well, you know, you pull out, you take Adam Fulker out of the picture and you bring in Sousa. He knocks down 3s, but it's also a mismatch problem as well. As you saw, Will Davis trying to guard James Ennis from that far away from basket. That's a tough cover.
Freeland isolated one-on-one against Davis. Got to look out, not pick up another foul. Rattles in and out. Ennis offensive rebound, no. And Davis corrals it. Sousa working against Papa George. Boy, is he feeling confident in that shot. Swatted into the seats at the Brin Center by point guard Michael Caffey.
Well, I tell you, you talk about a shot block or a shot swat. Watch this, a swat. As he is up in the air, timed it perfectly, no foul on the play. Why wasn't anybody okay on that baseline over there? Better job getting back on defense by Long Beach State, but still not where they need to be effective against UCI.
Irvine sharing the ball, being patient, and playing together. Davis double-teamed, and that's a silly foul by Long Beach State, being a little too aggressive Davis with nowhere to go. The shot clock winding down. They commit a foul and bail out UC Irvine.
And if I can add to that also, Paul, when you look back here, it's Will Davis. I haven't seen him make a play from that far away from the basket. He was off the box. He did a good job of getting him off that sweet spot. And that's a tough make for him. But you bail him out with the foul.
Fresh shot clock. Sousa, boy, is he aggressive and feeling at that off the side of the iron. And Ennis will corral the rebound. Freeland running 2-on-1, and Chris McNeely showing you his soccer skills, saving a sure basket.
You can see what early shots in the shot clock create.
Yep.
Early shot in the corner by Sousa leads to a fast break opportunity for Long Beach State.
Because that's not the pace that UC Irvine is used to playing, so that early shot caught his teammates by surprise. They were late in getting back. Keala King aggressively going after Wilder, earns a couple of free throws.
I'd like to see that mismatch right there between Michael Wilder and Keala King. I mean, go for it. He's such a facilitator. He's very unselfish with the basketball, as you see the pounding right there. Now, what you have to look at is his arms. Arms were in a little bit. They looked like they were straight on the shot, but when he went up, it was slightly uneven, and that's what the official called on that play.
First personal foul on Wilder as far as team fouls. That is just 3 on UC Irvine. 9:08 remaining in the basketball game. Long Beach State 17-10 on the year. 13-2 in conference. UC Irvine 16-13. 9-6 in conference. But the story for UC Irvine, perfect here at home in conference play and riding a 4-game winning streak.
And they need to slow this game down right now, Paul, as the momentum has swung and clearly in Long Beach State's favor. So you want to work the shot clock now. Not get those early shots, move the ball around, make them play a little defense.
Volker working inside on Jennings. Rattles in and out. Rebound taken by Jennings. Good transition defense that time. Wild shot thrown up and in by Keala King. Tough make. If he's going to make that, you just say, okay.
And that's what I call him sometimes, a wild card, boy. When he goes to the basket, you almost close your eyes, and then you open them, oh, okay, he made it.
Down the lane, once again, Alex Young being aggressive, and this matchup is going to go on in the Big West Conference for a long, long time between Michael Caffey and Alex Young.
Well, he is a hard-nosed kid, played his high school basketball at Mater Dei, once had 26 rebounds in a high school game while playing for Mater Dei. So good offensive rebound, a very tough kid, can take the contact and be a facilitator out there along with Michael Caffey with the basketball.
And speaking of Mater Dei, and I know this is right in your wheelhouse, big basketball game once again for the Monarchs of Mater Dei tonight.
Most definitely. My son is playing in his first CIF championship game tonight at the Anaheim Convention Center against Etiwanda at 8:30 tonight. So looking forward to seeing the young Cage out there tonight.
Second free throw up and good for Young. He makes 1 of 2. Inside of 8.5 minutes remaining, UC Irvine 51, Long Beach State 48 in that championship game, as you just mentioned, between Etiwanda and Mater Dei, coming up right here on Prime Ticket after the conclusion of this. Keala King again.
What kind of move was that?
Dan Jennings, his teammate, just ran over to him and basically said, what was that?
He went behind the back and went back to his right and kissed it off the glass.
Sousa again off the front of the iron. Battle for the rebound. Comes up to Michael Wilder. Bodies everywhere. You think this game is important? Keala King now with the basketball has 8 points all in the second half.
And right now, Long Beach State is just getting hurt.
Good strip that time by Volker, and it'll be Long Beach State's basketball. When we come back, Long Beach State shot 26%, scored 22 points in the first half. But Keala King, James Ennis, and Dan Jennings turning it around for the 49ers.
DSL was
a tough finish in transition there. And Keala King has made a couple of tough shot ball back-to-back here lately.
If you're just joining us, Dan Munson's 49ers scored a total of 22 points in the first half. 20 minutes. So far, in 12 minutes and 16 seconds of the second half, they've scored 28, and they are a very, very appealing 12 of 19 from the floor. Appealing, of course, if you're a 49er fan.
And to add to that, Paul, they had 2 assists as a team at halftime. Right now, they have 9.
Well, I like UC Irvine going to that zone for that particular possession, along with Michael Cage and Kelly Tennant. I'm Paul Sunderland. This is the Big West Conference Game of the Week. Next week we'll be up at Pacific. Bob Thomason closing out his magnificent career up there. 25 years comes to an end. We'll have the 49ers against the Pacific Tigers. Basket by Damon Starring, UC Irvine in the zone.
I like the zone defense because right now Long Beach State has scored 30 of their 53 points in the paint. They're trying to counter that by plugging the paint and forcing them back to the outside.
Takes away a little Keala King's one-on-one game as well. 12 to shoot.
Now, if you're going to attack the zone, you have to be off the dribble and make quick passes.
Keala King got inside to Davis, and he might not have gotten a piece, but after blocking 7 shots in the first half, he changed that one. Irvine leading again by 5. Wild play by Alex Young, completely out of control. Here's Caffey at the other end, and he's grabbed by Fulker. And here's the question again, was there a play on the basketball?
And you know, you talk about early shots, and the shot clock for UCI leads always to fast break points for Long Beach State, which is what you don't want to allow them to get to. As you see right here, just going straight to the hoop here. Tough possession. Tough shot as well, and it leads to a fast break foul and an opportunity for Long Beach State to cut into this 5-point lead.
Third personal foul on Adam Fulker.
I don't know if he needed to foul on that play. I thought there were players behind him to the side, and then just didn't really need to get that third foul. Adam Fulker on that play.
Papa George looking at a three-pointer, needs a bounce, not there. Will Davis controls the rebound.
And the zone has done its job.
Fulker ahead of the pack. Very, very poor transition defense. Long Beach State just walked their way back defensively, and Dan Munson wants to talk about it.
Well, that time the Red Sea parted once again. I mentioned that in the first half. It was worse here in the second half. As you see one guy go almost coast to coast with no resistance defensively. We're talking about this point. This is a...
Can put the ball in his hands for a couple of more seasons after this.
You talk about Paul. If I can add to that as well. Just the balance from UCI. You got 10 points by Will Davis the second, 14 points by Adam Fulker, who's leading the team in scoring, and 9 rebounds by Michael Wilder, probably one of the smaller hand-eaters on the floor.
And again, to what Irvine's coach Russ Turner told us just yesterday, we have to share the ball, we have to be unselfish, play to our roles, have balance, and that's exactly what Irvine is getting, along with good defense, particularly in the first half. Another circus shot.
I tell you, on a degree of 1 to 10, his last 3 made baskets have been 11s.
Michael Wilder has been very quiet. Came into this game after finally finding his range. Nice play again. Young inside to Fulker, feeling like he owed him one from that previous fast break play.
Now the problem is for Long Beach, Adam Fulker is setting the high screen and roll. You don't need to hedge that high if Alex Young is not coming off the shoot. You got to cover that roll guy. They're not covering that roll guy, and he is scoring every time. He has 16 points in the game. Adam Fulker, if you see right here, the high pick and roll, you don't need to show that high if you're Dan Jennings. He's showing that high as though it's Michael Wilder coming off this play. You don't need to do that. And it's so obvious that Adam Fulker is just laying it up every time, Paul.
Adam Fulker very good at one end now with 16 points, but he just picked up his 4th personal foul. 4:54 remaining. Fulker goes to the sideline. Irvine leading it 59 to 52.
He has 16 points, 7 rebounds already with just under 5 minutes to go in the game. And that's along with Will Davis the second, 7 block shots that he had in the first half.
And 7 of 12 from the floor, so his efficiency just going through the roof. Already leads the conference in field goal percentage at 58% on the year. Caffey, tough pull-up jumper, and buries a three-pointer. Big-time shot by Caffey.
Talk about just taking control of the game. That was a big basket. He misses that shot. Long Beach State is struggling again.
McNeely on for Fulker. Caffey now with 17 to lead the way for Long Beach. Ennis has been fairly quiet throughout the course of the game. Leading scorer, number 11 in black. Starring, up fake, ball fake, scores it. Beautiful play offensively by Damon Starring.
you know, it really just getting to the basket, finishing on his strong hand. He's a lefty, kissing it off the glass. But, you know, Long Beach State has no shot blockers in the game. So, you know, if you're Long Beach State, and if you're UCI, you want to get to the basket as Keala King is just taking control offensively.
All right, what does UC Irvine do to slow down Keala King? He's just taken over this game one-on-one. 12 points all in the second half.
What did they go into, Paul? Come out of a timeout. His own defense is very effective. We talked about how he cuts down on dribble drive penetration and starting. Misses a little easy one to the basket. And the young guy, Alex Young, does the old school play and throws it off the player as he's going out of bounds.
When we come back to the Bryn Center, Irvine leading it 61-57. And when they get to the rim, boy, not much resistance from the 49ers so far. Standings, Long Beach State is going to be the #1 seed. No doubt about that. UC Irvine wants to move up if they possibly can, the #2 seed, so they avoid a rematch against the 49ers before potentially the finals of the Big West Conference tournament. But Pacific, a lot of other teams. Of course, UC Davis going to have a lot to say about what happens during the course of the tournament. Offensive rebound taken once again by Will Davis, who, relatively speaking, has been pretty quiet in the second half. 7 block shots in the first half for Davis, now at the free throw line.
I thought that was a good charge that Michael Cappy took on the play. Wasn't called, but Will Davis smartly goes back after his own shots. How many times have we seen in the second half, Paul?
Too many if you're Long Beach State.
That's right. UCI has rebounded its own shots and have created opportunities to score.
Will Davis, who is only a 42% free throw shooter on the year. Perfect so far on the evening. That was Dan Jennings. 49ers, his 3rd personal foul.
Well, he got those big 7 blocks in the first half to really get UCI off to a hot start, and has created like almost like I double dare you to bring it inside Long Beach State.
And here's the zone once again to slow down Keala King. Both teams with 5 team fouls could be a factor. Wide open in the corner. Off the miss by Ennis. Freeland back up and in. One of the weaknesses of the zone. It's hard to rebound defensively out of it. Fulker back on.
Well, that's a good point, Paul. And also, too, Long Beach State is very effective out of that kind of zone defense with their athleticism and rebound, as you saw Tony Freeland get in there and finish.
Starring floater, looking inside, deflected. Good hands by Long Beach State. Wilder back defensively. Good handoff. Keala King again. Another circus shot.
And James Ennis pokes the ball away from the young fella and ties the ball game up. As Russ Turner will call timeout and go, what just happened?
Well, finally, Long Beach State starting to assert itself at both ends of the floor. James Ennis showing the ability he has, the steal in the open court and the flush. Well, and now tied at 63.
And it started with the offensive rebound by Tony Freeland. And then you see right here, as they get a good defensive play to not allow the lob to go to Will Davis, then Michael Caffey over to Keala King, takes the contact and finish. Could have easily been a foul on the play. And watch this steal here. Oh, that's old school. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh, that's what I would do to you. See, if I'm playing against you,
you've already picked my pocket before.
I would poke the ball away because you get comfortable like the young fella did there. No pun intended to Alex Young. Tremendous freshman year here, but big mistake there. Yep. Leaving the ball out, the long arms, athleticism of James Ennis. He's one of the top steal player in the league as well. And he finishes with a thunderous dunk and ties his ball game with plenty of time.
You know, it's interesting. When you look at the numbers, Long Beach State holds its opponents to just 43% shooting, 3rd best in the conference, and they're 3rd best in terms of defending the three-point shot. But I'm of the opinion that Long Beach State should be a much better defensive team. They have that kind of length and talent.
Well, and they have been in stretches, but not consistently.
Wilder, change of pace. Boy, you might want to think about bringing on Travis Sousa once again if you're UC Irvine. He's hit 3 threes already on the evening, and right now Irvine having some trouble getting points on the board. 4th personal foul on Freeland.
And the only problem with that is that you have to take out Adam Falker or Will Davis, one of the bigs.
Good point.
And now you're giving up the glass.
Long Beach State now out of fouls.
Big possession right here. There's plenty of time on the shot clock if you're UCI just working around a little bit.
Davis misses the follow dunk. And a rebound by the senior Michael Wilder.
And that gives him 10 rebounds on the night. How big was that?
Fulker working on Jennings, and it's going to be an offensive foul.
And that's a great call. I really like that call. And unfortunately, it's Adam Fulker's 5th foul of the game. Thank you, Paul, as you're showing me the 5 fingers. And that's a big play right there. But he stood his ground, and you can tell Fulker on this play. Watch, he drops the shoulder. He's initiating this contact from the start.
Well, in his last game at the Brin Center, Adam Fulker picks up his 5th personal foul.
Well, they have to lose in Adam Fulker, and then now they have to, deal with the idea of trying to keep Long Beach State off the offensive glass, which they've been very successful the last couple of trips.
And they've decided to come with number 5, Chris McNeely. A little better defender, a little better rebounder to work against the size.
And they're coming out of a zone defense, which is a surprise to me at this point.
It is to me, too. Starring matched up against Keala King. Keala King has been spectacular in the second half. Inside, off the hand of Freeland and out of bounds. 1:27 remaining, tied at 63.
And that's a great play by Michael Caffey. You got to catch that if you're Tony Freeland. He came off his man's, doubled him, he got him the ball, and he lost it. That's just one you got to catch and finish.
Young on the dribble penetration. Wilder wide open. Buries the three-pointer. Timeout, Long Beach. What a find by point guard Alex Young. And a story for Michael Wilder. He has struggled the entire season. Last year, second team All-Big West.
67 seconds left in the game. Plenty of time for Long Beach State. You don't need to go for a 3. Go for a 2. You've been able to get inside. If the Long Beach, if I was Irvine, I would get in the zone defense. I mean, why not get back in that zone, make them burn a little time off the clock as the officials are discussing something here. I'm not really sure what it is.
Well, the officials are going to discuss it again. James Duran, Justin Van Dyne, and Daryl Gelinas. Then, after the ball was put in play, he requested video confirmation that it was a 3, so it did cost him one of what was his 3 remaining timeouts. Freeland to inbound, exactly a minute remaining, and thanks to Wilder's three-pointer, Irvine leading it by 3. Looking inside to Jennings, and maybe a foul Jennings if he gets it inside and is threatening.
Oh, you have to foul him right away. And if you're Long Beach State, you're going for the 2 right here.
12 to shoot. Keala King has got it. Working against Damon Starring. Starring his last game here at the Brin Center. Rejected out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Davis would have been much better suited if he had just tapped that ball and went to get it, like we were talking about before with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, right there, this is good timing. Great timing, in fact. His 8th block of the game, helping Damon Starring, who was all over Keala King, forcing him into a tough shot.
7 block shots
for a season.
And he is 6'8". All right, now 35 seconds remaining, but the most important number is the 4 left on the shot clock for Long Beach State. Looking for Caffey, three-pointer on the way, rims out, and it's not there. Long rebound, Starring after it, and he's got it. Grabbed from behind by Keala King. Now the question, they're just going to call a holding foul, so it will be 1-and-1 for Damon Starring. Long Beach State has beaten UC Irvine 5 straight times.
Well, you see here at the end there as Michael Caffey's shot went in and out. And I believe it was Tony Freeland who missed the tip in. Good foul by Keala King. But clearly he would have went down and laid it up and changed the whole dynamics of this game. But still has an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game.
Starring missed his only free throw attempt so far on the evening. Usually pretty efficient, 77% on the year. He'll earn the second.
Now, if he makes this second one, that changes things a lot for Long Beach State. They have to now get the ball out quickly and go for the three-point shot.
They don't need it. Do you think they need a three right away?
I would go. The way the game is going, because UCI is playing very good man-to-man defense. I'm surprised when they got in the zone.
Step back. Caffey buries a three-pointer from 27 feet. Cold-blooded by Michael Caffey, now with 20. And you were exactly right, Michael. Exactly what the 49ers needed.
And that put a lot of pressure right now on UCI. That was a big shot, by the way. He hit nothing but bottom. Guy has one timeout left, and Anteaters will put Long Beach State in the bonus in the next foul here. Possession arrow goes to Long Beach State.
Well, UC Irvine, the student section behind us was on their feet. They were feeling awfully confident just a few moments ago. 22.2 seconds remaining. Sousa on now. There is Young trapped along the sideline, and a foul is called. So it'll be 1-and-1 for the freshman, Alex Young.
Boy, that looked like a clear strip to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was some contact on the play, but boy, that was a quick whistle.
Well, the quick helps Long Beach State. Now we'll see if Alex Young can once again make this a two-possession game. He is 2 for 4 from the free throw line and a 75%er on the year.
Big free throws here by the freshman. We featured him at halftime. Gonna have to knock him down. He looked great on the first one. Very calm, very cool. To say, I got it. I got this guy.
Both of those pressure-packed free throws, perfect. Long Beach State out of timeouts. Caffey looking for a screen once again, and the three-pointer picked up by McNeely. Papa George into the corner, the official blowing the whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul at the other end, and the turnover charged against Long Beach State.
Wow, what a tough call here.
There's the illegal screen right there. That is great work by our crew in the truck. He wants to guard Papa George, being held by Freeland. Obvious play. Offensive foul, so no free throws.
You have to foul right away now. If you're Long Beach State, you have to foul right away.
Oh, terrible pass. What a decision. Keala King's got to go. One-on-one, going down the lane, looking at the three for Caffey. Three-pointer on the way and good. It's a one-point game. 4.6 seconds remaining.
Now you have to foul. You go for the steal, but foul immediately.
And there's the foul. 0.8 seconds went off the clock.
Wow, what a huge turnover.
Terrible decision by Travis Sousa.
Well, it was a lazy pass. He floated it up there. Keala King here kicks it out to Michael Caffey. This is a second big dagger almost here. And in the pass on the play here, what was he thinking? Boy, he is clearly being guarded close enough by Tony Freeland where you don't need to throw a high-risk pass.
You think he's going to hear about that pass? Wow. Michael Wilder at the free throw line. Again, this senior season, if you're just joining our coverage of the Big West Game of the Week, has been a real struggle, but he is coming on and playing very, very well towards the end, and not that a reliable free throw shooter. 3.8 seconds remaining. First is perfect. But even if he makes this, it's a one-possession game, and Long Beach State will have a chance at it, either for the tie, if he makes the free throw, or the win if Wilder misses. And Caffey has been lights out from long range.
I don't believe Long Beach State has any timeouts.
They do not. They do not.
So they have to get this ball out quickly and score in 3.8 seconds.
Both free throws good. 3-point game. Long Beach State has got to have a three, and here comes Caffey. There's the high screen on the way, off the side of the iron, and Irvine has won it. Beach State had a chance to wrap up their fourth straight conference